2012, a quiet computer was named Jimmy Zhong stumbled upon a glitch that would change his life forever. This wasn't just any bug, it was a vulnerability inside the dark web's most notorious marketplace, Silk Road. What started as a simple curiosity soon spiraled into one of the largest Bitcoin heists in history. Jimmy, a socially isolated student from Georgia, USA, was about to become a billionaire overnight. But as you'll see, even the most brilliant plans can unravel with a single mistake. Let's dive into the unbelievable true story of Jimmy Zhong and the billion-dollar Bitcoin heist. Jimmy Zhong wasn't your typical criminal. He wasn't a gangster nor a hired hacker, and he had no ties to the dark web's underground scene. Instead, he was a brilliant but lonely computer science student described by those who knew him as quiet, shy, and exceptionally smart. Jimmy spent countless hours online, not for gaming or social media but searching for vulnerabilities, places where the system could be bent. His fascination with glitches would soon lead him down a path no one could have predicted. 2012, Jimmy found himself exploring Silk Road, the largest dark web marketplace at the time. Amidst the chaos, he noticed something no one else had: a withdrawal glitch. This bug allowed him to deposit a small amount of Bitcoin and withdraw it multiple times, instantly multiplying his balance. There was no hacking or breaking into the system, just exploiting a weakness that had gone unnoticed. Jimmy's discovery was the first step in a journey that would see him quietly drain Silk Road from the inside. Withdrawal glitch Jimmy discovered was deceptively simple. By depositing a small amount of Bitcoin, he could withdraw it multiple times in quick succession, effectively doubling or tripling his balance with each transaction. He set up fake accounts and automated the process, slowly siphoning off massive amounts of Bitcoin. By 2014, Jimmy had taken over 51,680 Bitcoin, worth millions at the time and billions today. His method was clever, subtle, and left almost no trace, at least for a while. With over 51,000 Bitcoin in his possession, Jimmy Zhong became one of the wealthiest individuals in the crypto world, at least on paper. But instead of fleeing or hiding, he chose to stay put. He bought a luxury home and threw extravagant parties, though he remained largely isolated. Jimmy's life was a strange mix of opulence and solitude. He even stored some of his private keys in unusual places, like a popcorn tin hidden in his house. Despite his newfound wealth, Jimmy struggled with loneliness and a desire for validation. Jimmy's double life was marked by contradictions. On one hand, he was a billionaire with access to unimaginable wealth. On the other, he remained a socially awkward, lonely individual who struggled to connect with others. Those who knew him said he didn't care much about money. What he truly wanted was to feel important and valued. His actions were driven less by greed and more by a deep-seated need for recognition and belonging. Despite possessing a fortune, Jimmy didn't try to disappear. He continued living in Georgia, blending into his surroundings. He kept his wealth hidden, storing hardware wallets and crypto devices in secret spots around his home. The popcorn tin, later found by the FBI, became a symbol of his attempt to keep his secret life under wraps. But as the years passed, the pressure of living a double life began to mount. In 2019, Jimmy made a critical error that would set off a chain reaction. He called the police to report a break-in at his home, claiming that someone had stolen his crypto. This seemingly innocent call immediately put him on law enforcement's radar. For years, Jimmy had managed to stay invisible, but now the authorities had a reason to look closer. It was the beginning of the end for his secret empire. Later that year, Jimmy made another fatal mistake. He accidentally moved a small amount of his stolen Bitcoin to a regulated crypto exchange that required identity verification, known as KYC, Know Your Customer. The moment his coins touched the platform, blockchain analysis tools lit up. Investigators could now trace the movement of the stolen Bitcoin, connecting it directly back to the Silk Road hack. The digital trail was alive, and Jimmy's anonymity was shattered. With advanced blockchain forensics, investigators began piecing together the puzzle. Every transaction Jimmy made left a digital footprint, and now law enforcement could follow the trail all the way back to the original Silk Road exploit. The evidence was overwhelming. What had once been a perfectly hidden crime was now exposed, thanks to the transparency of blockchain technology and Jimmy's small slip-up. As the blockchain trail led investigators closer, the FBI began building their case. They tracked Jimmy's movements, monitored his online activity, and gathered evidence linking him to the massive Bitcoin theft. The net was closing in, and Jimmy's days as a crypto ghost were numbered. The authorities prepared for a dramatic raid that would make headlines around the world. November 2021, federal agents raided Jimmy Zhong's home. What they found was staggering: over 50,676 Bitcoin, large amounts of cash, precious metals, hardware wallets, and hidden crypto devices. The popcorn tin, once a simple hiding spot, became a key piece of evidence. This operation became one of the largest crypto seizures in U.S. history, with a total value exceeding $3.3 billion. Jimmy's secret was finally out. During the raid, agents uncovered not just Bitcoin but also cash, precious metals, and a variety of hardware wallets. Each item told a part of Jimmy's story: his attempts to hide his fortune, his paranoia, and his resourcefulness. The sheer scale of the seizure stunned even seasoned investigators. Jimmy's elaborate efforts to protect his wealth had ultimately failed, and now everything was in the hands of the authorities. After the raid, Jimmy Zhong's fate was sealed. In 2023, he pleaded guilty to wire fraud, admitting to his role in one of the largest crypto thefts ever recorded. The court proceedings drew significant media attention, as people around the world wondered what kind of sentence awaited a man who had stolen billions in digital currency. The outcome would surprise many. Despite the staggering amount of money involved, Jimmy Zhong was sentenced to just 1 year and 1 day in federal prison. For many, this seemed shockingly lenient given the scale of his crime. The case highlighted the complexities of prosecuting digital currency theft and raised questions about justice in the age of cryptocurrency. Jimmy, once a billionaire in hiding, would serve only a brief time behind bars. Jimmy's story isn't just about a crime, it's about the human side of genius and isolation. Those who knew him said he wasn't motivated by greed. Instead, having billions made him feel important, giving him a sense of value he couldn't find elsewhere. His actions were a tragic mix of brilliance, loneliness, and a desperate need for belonging. The story forces us to look beyond the headlines and consider the person behind the crime. Jimmy Zhong's journey was marked by extraordinary intelligence and a single, fateful flaw. Instead of reporting the Silk Road bug, he chose to exploit it, setting off a chain of events that would ultimately lead to his downfall. His story is a cautionary tale about the thin line between brilliance and disaster, and how even the smartest individuals can make choices that change their lives forever. At its core, Jimmy's story is about more than just money or crime. It's about a lonely genius searching for meaning in a world where he felt invisible. His desperate need for belonging drove him to take risks that most would never consider. The billions he amassed couldn't fill the void, and in the end, his isolation was as much his undoing as his mistakes. After serving his sentence, Jimmy Zhong's life would never be the same. The world now knew his name, and his story became a symbol of both the promise and peril of cryptocurrency. The Silk Road hack, once a hidden secret, was now a cautionary tale for the entire crypto community. Jimmy's actions left a lasting mark on the world of digital currency and law enforcement alike. Jimmy Zhong's story teaches us important lessons about technology, ethics, and the human condition. It shows how even the most secure systems can have vulnerabilities and how personal choices can have far-reaching consequences. The tale of the billion-dollar Bitcoin heist is a reminder that behind every headline, there's a complex human story waiting to be told. As cryptocurrency continues to evolve, stories like Jimmy Zhong's will shape how we think about digital money, security, and trust. The world of crypto is full of opportunity and risk, and the line between genius and criminal can be razor-thin. Jimmy's journey is a powerful reminder to stay vigilant, ethical, and aware of the human stories behind every innovation. Stay tuned for more incredible tales from the world of crypto. 2012, a quiet computer was named Jimmy Zhong stumbled upon a glitch that would change his life forever. This wasn't just any bug, it was a vulnerability inside the dark web's most notorious marketplace, Silk Road. What started as a simple curiosity soon spiraled into one of the largest Bitcoin heists in history. Jimmy, a socially isolated student from Georgia, USA, was about to become a billionaire overnight. But as you'll see, even the most brilliant plans can